All right, guys, we are back with our second week of our Game of Thrones after show. We just finished watching the episode, and we're going to talk about it. But first, let's talk about who we've got here. So my name's Matt, and up above me is Dan.
AKA Cal Drogo, because I'm just as hot. To the side of me is sexy guy with a hat on.
Jon
okay.
Snow to you, sir.
I call him Opie
I
Snow.
thought it was Tommy Boy.
It's Opie. Well, sorry. And below me is old man Meister of the Wall.
I am pretty much the oldest one here. And I'm Dave.
All right, guys. So we just finished watching the second episode, and we are going to talk about it. Before we run through the, before we run through the episode, anybody have any gut reactions about this at all?
I think the show's going downhill.
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. I think they kind of jumped the shark. Fonzie do the jump actually over the shark. It was kind of weird. There were some good moments in the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I felt bad for her. She gets there, knocks on the door, and he's like, "Nope, get out of here." And she's like, "Ah, crap." Hey, wait, don't go yet. I need a ride.
Just as sit on the porch.
There were some parts that cracked me up. But
Yeah. Yeah, I thought. Well, we'll get into it. I thought this episode wasn't quite as good as last week's, but we're still in setup mode. We're moving players around the board, that kind of stuff. So, I think it's going to some good places, but we're just gotta wait to get there.
Yar, I agree. All right, so you want to go through the scenes?
Yeah, go ahead and run us off.
Okay, so of course it opens up with our favorite character of all time, Arya, showing up finally.
Well, which is your favorite character? I don't know
The
if
house
she's
of magenta and yellow, or was it green and purple? I can't remember. Was it black and
Blue and
white?
or it's black and white,
All we
or
know is
Black
there's
and
some
yellow,
kind of
but-
color. We know it's a large house.
it's
all
the
right?
Oreo house.
They're in Bravos, and they didn't let her in. They're just like, you know what, sucker, you stay outside. We'll see how you act. And then she started counting down all the people she was to kill as usual.
I did have a question about that. So first thing I wrote down was Bravos because it's cool that we get to see that, right? But when you're on the boat to Bravos and you're sailing under the big statue
Here we go.
and you look up,
You don't see the statue's balls.
No.
I didn't know. I just wondering, what do you see? Because it's awkward. The canal through to Bravos is right underneath a guy's legs, and he's wearing like the battle
Pretty sure you were
skirt.
probably the only person in America
No.
that watched that
No.
and thought, I wonder if that dude's junk's up there.
No, I'm not.
It's the only one. That makes sense, because he's weird. So we move on from Arya showing up under the man balls.
Yep.
Bravos,
Selling
and we go from there to Podrick and Brienne of Toth, and they show up at a nice little country club, and
They pull up to
we're
the Cracker
taking some
Barrel.
meals. That's right. Luckily,
I have to say,
go ahead.
I just have to say, I'm so glad that they didn't do one of those like 3 episodes of them missing one another.
Oh, I know.
Just like they were going to get up and walk out this episode, and,
Right.
and then
Somebody
the next
thought it should be a
episode-
Scooby-Doo episode with Brienne and Podrick chasing them through the doors back and
Yeah.
forth.
Well, it's funny that you say that though, because I did write down Podrick and Brienne, same place as Sansa and Littlefinger, because I thought it was going to be another one of those. Oh God, they're right there, Brienne. Sansa's right there. Go get her. Go save her. Go protect her. Thankfully, they did. Podrick, with his eagle eyes, did notice that they were sitting right across the restaurant.
He found him in the VIP section of Cracker Barrel, and they are walking over, and she's all, "Hey, I'm totally sworn to you," and Sansa's all like, "No," and that's how it went down. And
Well-
then blood ensued.
Yeah, well, I did. So Littlefinger brings up a good point about how Brienne was sworn to protect
Ridley.
Renly, and he got killed, and then she was sworn to protect Caitlyn, and she got killed. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of don't know if I would want her to protect me either. I mean, her track record isn't all that great.
It's not fair. Smoke
and when she doesn't get
monsters.
her way, blood starts flying, or somebody's going to get hit with a sword.
Somebody's getting cut, and she can cut a person with a sword. She straight up jacks like 3 dudes. straight up. First
Now,
one there in place, and then 2 more because Podrick didn't know how to ride a horse.
Did she take the dog's sword? Is that his sword?
I don't think so. Because
Okay.
the hound fell over the mountain with his
The
sword.
hound. The dog, I'm
The
sorry.
dog. Did she kill the mutt? I think the mutt was his name, something like that.
I was like, what
Labrador-
dog?
The Labrador Retriever.
Because it looks like on the hilt of her sword there's a hound, and I didn't know if his sword had the hound or a head of a wolf or whatever. I just
No worries.
Well, so before we move on to that one, so I wrote down a note that said Sansa then versus now, talking to remind myself about where she used to be. She was just sort of a naive little girl, but she's really grown and she's really become just like we talked about when we watched it last season, how she's learning how to play the Game of Thrones now. When she took up with Littlefinger, so she's really, it's like she's a lot more cold and calculating now than she used to be. Do you guys like her better this way?
Don't really know her much this way yet.
yeah, really
Until
don't.
we do, and then maybe
Except
later
her
on
hair's
we'll find out.
different.
Yeah.
That's what you mean. You mean you like her
I liked
better
her.
as
I liked her red hair. I thought her.
I
red
liked
hair
red hair
was
too,
cute. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess Sansa then had red hair, and Sansa now has she's a brunette.
That's
You
right.
really don't know much about her.
Right.
Until
she's been
later
controlled.
On. Yeah.
Ever since she left and ever since Joffrey died, she's not had a chance to put in her.
She's
2
more
cents about
matter of
anything.
fact.
Yeah,
now.
but do you think she's
Every
being
time.
controlled now, or do you think she's playing the game right now?
I think she's just trying to stay alive. I don't think
Yeah.
she knows what she's doing.
No, I think she does. I think she's
I
getting
don't think
smarter.
she does.
And I don't think Littlefinger has the hold on her that he thinks he does.
Well,
Okay, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. Is like, do you think that she's really falling in with him,
She's
or
playing him.
is she just using him?
Most likely using
well,
him.
she doesn't have any other option. I mean, it's not like she can go out of on her. If she is using it, it's smart, and it'll be really cool to see that. But I don't really know. Things have happened so fast. Well, I don't know if things have happened so fast, but it's kind of been a whirlwind since.
Right, and she is wanted still. I think didn't Cersei put out a hit for her?
Oh yeah.
That's why Littlefinger keeps moving around. But Littlefinger wants to marry her so that he has the throne of the White Winterfell, along with the Eyrie, and then he controls the North.
Which is weird because he said that he's her uncle now. I mean, just by marriage, and barely because he was only married to her aunt for like a day before he kicked her down a hole.
Right. So I don't think she's an idiot. I think she's played her way, but I don't know much about her yet until there's more about her.
Right. I do. I think I like seeing her learning though. Like I like seeing her a bit more cold like this.
Yeah.
Just because it seems like she's getting smarter and tougher.
Cool.
I do like this.
So then you go on to Cersei and Jaime
Mhm.
talking about their child down in Dorne, and Cersei blaming Jaime for everything and not being a good daddy. And
Was
he's like,
this
"How am I supposed to be a good daddy when I'm your brother? That'd be kind of weird."
Right.
And,
He did make a good point. I mean, she was
Yeah.
talking about how he hasn't been a father to any of her kids or any of their kids,
Well-
and he says, "Well, I can't be." You know, I mean, that's a good point.
Other than the way the kids look, isn't this the first time they've actually came out and said that that's all of those kids are theirs or Jamie's?
No, they
No,
know.
that's been.
Well, see, I wrote down something that said Jamie and Cersei 3 kids because I've always just kind of thought about Joffrey being theirs. I've never really thought about the other 2.
Yeah,
Well,
they've
they're
all been theirs.
all
And
blonde-headed.
They've been
Yeah.
they've been talking about the 3 of them for a while, and Cersei and Jaime both know they're all Jamie's. So,
Okay.
but anyways, yeah. So Cersei goes trifling. Jamie's like, whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, fine, I'll go to Dorne. So he goes to find his good old buddy Braun.
Yep.
Which I always like
Bronn.
Braun. He's a
Oh,
cool
yeah.
guy.
Braun is awesome. Now, remind me what happened. Remind me how Braun got to where he is now.
He got his title from the Battle of the Blackwater.
Yeah,
With
he got
Tyrion.
rewarded for
for doing
all
that
that.
stuff. Yeah, and he got
and-
rewarded and
And of
was
course,
offered a home and all that.
yeah, I think they wanted to get him away from, or he wanted to get away from Tyrion,
Actually, I don't think he did. I think even when he got his title, he's had his title for a couple seasons, and he still hangs with Tyrion. I think
Right,
those two
but-
work together.
But when Tyrion lost all his power and wealth, he kind of took the high road because it's the only choice he had, though. Really, I mean,
Tyrion, he was still hanging around Tyrion when he was Master of Coin after he lost the Hand of the King.
Right.
So even Tyrion's low side, there's always been 2 friends of Tyrion all the time, and that's
Okay.
Bronn and that's Podrick. But Podrick
Okay.
had to; he was the squire.
gotcha.
So no, I don't think he was going to. But he's gotten all this stuff. Jamie comes to him and says, "Listen, we got a deal to do. down in Dorne.
Yeah, I need your help with Dorne. They're going to go get his daughter. Does Braun know about the kids?
Everybody knows, but nobody says anything.
Okay.
It's like the Night of Flowers or the Night of Roses, whatever. Everybody knows he's a homosexual, but nobody says anything.
Yeah.
So everybody has an idea, even though no one stood right up and said, "Hey, those are my kids." It's
Right.
pretty much well known.
Okay.
But nobody's brought
Because
it
they
up.
would die if they did, bro.
Oh yeah.
So then you go down to Dorne, and you get to see old Oberon's brother, which I don't know his name. I've been trying to find it this whole time. And I can't remember his name.
Overall's brother is Miss No, I'm sorry. Marcel?
He's Doctor. Wasn't it Doctor Bashir on Star Trek? Deep Space Nine?
Yes. Yes.
Martel?
Yes.
It's the worst. Anyways, so
Prince
the reason he
Dorne
sits
Martell?
is because he is. No, there's no Martell in their name. Not the people of Dorne.
So
He's just because he has gout really bad, and so he can't really do as much as his brother did. But anyways, you get to see Ilaria come in there and being all trifling. Go, my man got killed. Go kill them now.
And he does, but I like that he. So I like that. Okay, so wait, backing up. So he was who Tyrion thought was coming
Correct.
to King's Landing last season.
Yes.
Okay, so I like that we get to see him, and I like that he, even though Oberon, because there's so much in this show where you killed my brother or so and so, now I'm going to go to war with you, and I kind of like that he's more hesitant to do that, and I do like the fact that. He said that Oberon's who is she to him? The girl, I can't remember her name.
Ilaria?
Yeah,
She was just Oberon's girlfriend.
yeah.
I thought they were related though.
No. They're not related.
Okay, because that would be weird. There's none of that on this show. But I do like how she wanted to, cut up Cersei's daughter and send her back. And I like how he sort of stuck to his guns and said, we don't do that here. Because Oberon said the same thing. We don't hurt little girls in Dorne. I like how he stuck to that, though. It was good to see that.
Well,
But he did kind of. He seemed like he was kind of freaked out when she said, "How long are you going to be?"
Well, I wonder if that's some foreshadowing. I mean, I wonder if, he says, not while I rule. And she says, well, how long is that going to be?
Yeah.
Well, I think he's referring to his illness
Well,
that he has.
she
Oh, that's
comes-
true, too.
She comes from the Sands people, a different group of people than.
She's
than
from
what they-
Dorne. That's all you need to know.
The
Oh,
Sand
so you-
people? Like the ones on Tatooine?
But she says I have the people of the Sands behind me, and I've kind of read a
she's-
little blurb that
She
from.
she has the sands. She has the sand snakes behind her. The sand snakes are
snakes.
Oberon's daughters. He has multiple daughters, and they're called the
Oh.
Vipers or the sand snakes. And those will come out later on in the series. But that's what she was meaning by that, because all his daughters are all. But something will happen there. It comes later, so you
Okay.
get to meet those girls later. Hopefully, in the next episode. Hope they bring them out soon.
It didn't look like in the previews we got any Dorne action
No.
True.
next week.
But you do get the Tywin, or not Tywin, Theon did show up
Yes.
with the Boltons.
Mhm.
Okay, so next you get Tyrion and Varys traveling the road, talking smack. Varys is telling him, hey, you're pretty smart, and
Yeah, why don't you
Tyrion's
quit
like, listen,
whining?
shut up, I'm drinking.
Right.
Tyrion's like beer.
Right,
Yeah,
smearing-
beer.
Smearing his beer. He's smearing his
I
beer.
was thinking that too. I love how there is no scene in this entire series with Tyrion where he doesn't have something in his hand.
Yeah. Right.
He's drinking himself to death. And then that was the part where he's like, is she really going to kill all the dwarves? And
Yep.
then, of course, the next scene is Cersei and the head of the dwarves laid on the table.
Right.
It's like they're just killing them all.
And the
now.
dude's like, I'll take it.
Well, so I wrote that down. So so going into that scene, Tyrion says, how many dwarves are there? What's Cersei going to do? Kill all of them. And then there's a head that slams down on the table of, I guess it's a dwarf's head.
Yeah.
But who is the guy that said he wants to keep it?
That's an old, like a mad scientist.
Okay.
He's been in there in the past,
Yes,
right?
Has he?
He showed up after the death of the mountain.
Right.
He's there doing something for Cersei. He shows up when Jamie loses his hand.
Yep.
He comes with Jamie back to King's Landing.
He's like, I can fix
'Cause
it,
he-
or I can do
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
That's
And
right.
He's not part of their whole sect of the Maesters. He was removed from it a long time ago for doing
But
obscene things.
he-
But
well, he-
Cersei likes
yeah.
having him around.
Because I was
he's
thinking,
like
what
one
in
of
the
those.
world work does he have to do, or what is
Well,
he?
he's one of those hotel doctors. I mean, I think they call on him like at the last minute. It's like, listen, have you ever seen this before? And can you fix it?
My thing is, I think he's a mad scientist type thing.
Yeah.
He practices on a lot of risque things that he shouldn't be doing, and that's why he was removed from the sect.
Okay.
And so that's why he works for Cersei, because she has all these little creepy people around her.
I was like, is he gonna make some kind of Frankenstein's monster?
But you get to see her manipulate the council. Oh, my son, I'm standing in his place. And then her uncle just being like, I'm not here to listen to
Her
you.
uncle's like, shut your mouth.
Yeah, I don't care what you have to say. You're not in charge of anything. I'm going back to King's Landing.
No, he's going back to Castle.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Castle
Castle Rock.
Rock.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And she goes on about that. He's not going to be treated that way by her.
So did Tom? Is it Tommen? Is that the kid?
Tomlin?
Tomlin. Jeez.
Tommen.
Did he really appoint all those people, or did
I
Cersei
think she's
just?
doing it.
Yeah. Do you think?
The two of them were already there. The Maester and the Martell father was already on the council beforehand, before Joffrey died. The uncle's there just because Tywin's gone, and then she brought him in to be Master of War. Whether she appointed him or Tomlin did, she's saying that he did. And the other guy is from Cersei. So yeah, those two, yes. But the Maester and the Martell gentleman that was made Master of Coin, they've been there for a while.
Okay.
They've both been part of the council.
Okay.
So we go from there, from the small council, the uncle storming off to the wall, and we see Gilly and Sam, and Serene is the daughter of Stannis. And she's helping Gilly learn to read, which is another funny part because they're making fun of Sam because he won't help. Blah blah blah. They're learning their words and their S's. And
Wait. What do you mean Sam wouldn't help?
I know an S.
Sam was sitting over there reading the other books, and he had tried to help Gilly before, and he had told her that she needs to read more. It'll help with your, help with this. And she makes a joke at him, like, "Oh, well, why don't you have fun over there talking about whoever the youngest person of the Night's Watch lead was, while I'm over here learning about S."
Right.
And all that stuff. So they talk about the disease that Shireen has, and what it's called, and what Gilly saw her sisters go through. So we go over there into a room with Stannis and Jon and Davos, and
which is what
wildlings.
I was waiting for. The minute at the end of last episode when Jon Snow runs the arrow through Mance
Raider.
Yeah. I was like, oh man, Stannis is gonna be pissed, and he was.
He was to
Sort
an
of.
extent, but not terrible.
Yeah.
So he pretty much tells us, like, I want the wildlings to follow me. Jon says, no, they won't. He's like, well, maybe what if I make you a lord? I'll take your Snow name away and make you an actual Stark, and you can be the Lord of Winterfell. And Jon pretty much tells him no.
And I even wrote down Jon Stark, Lord of Winterfell! Exclamation point.
Right. Yeah. So he
Because that would
can do
be awesome.
as the king. We know there's like multiple kings right now.
Right.
So as the king, he could do that and remove that. Just like, I guess a lordly person could do that because, what's his name? The Flayed Men, Roose Bolton, does it to his bastard son and makes him an actual son of his by giving him his last name. And so the king can do that as well to Jon if he wants it. Jon says, no, I'm cool, whatevs. And then Jon goes, talks to Sam. We go to the next shot. They're chatting, and Sam's like, "You need to do it." Jon's like, "No, I don't. Shut up, Sam. You're fat."
No.
And then,
That's exactly what he said.
that's exactly what went down. It was crazy. Then he pushed Sam over and took his lunch money. So it goes from there, and you get to the 998th Lord Commander vote. And everybody gets to pick and choose who they would like to nominate for this vote. And of course, our first two, one of them is I forget his name, but he rules the other watch of the Night's Watch at one of the other towers. And then the Master at Arms there at the Black.
Alistair Thorne or Janice?
I forget their names. We could just go down the list and just start saying it's that guy.
Yeah.
I'm looking at all the names and I can't find them, so whatevs. Anyways, so those two are the main candidates, and then Sam gets all ballsy, makes fun of chubby McBald man.
Yeah.
And
That I did like that. You were cowering with a woman and a baby.
Yeah.
And then the vote goes through, and John becomes leader of the Night's Watch. In the book, they do a little bit more. There's like some campaigning and political play a little bit more in the book, but it still comes out the same way where John becomes the leader of the Night's Watch. But remember, it was split, so keep that in mind. It's a
In
very
the Meister, the Maester.
the Maester
breaks
made
the
the
tie.
final vote. Yeah,
breaks the
But
tie.
remember, the Black Watch is split right now. So
Yeah, well, I did write down, John Stark, Lord of Winterfell, exclamation mark. But then underneath that, I wrote Jon Snow, Lord of the Wall.
Yep.
And then I started thinking, which one would I rather have? Would I rather Jon Snow be Lord of the Wall or Jon Stark be Lord of Winterfell? I mean, which one would be more interesting? But I think Jon Snow being Lord of the Wall. I don't know if that's the right title, but I think Jon Snow.
Lord Commander. Of the Night's Watch.
I think that's going to be pretty interesting. I mean, I was going to say, does he accept is it something that he has to accept, or does it just happen?
He totally accepts at the end of the night. He stands up smiling. He wants to be Lord Commander, and he's totally fine with that. Just remember that it was always split.
Okay, thanks for ruining it for me, Dan. I now don't have to watch the rest of Game of Thrones.
Really? Because you saw them split evenly.
Well, you just keep telling me, remember that. So something's going to happen with the
I'm
vote.
just saying.
With
Remember it was a split
Okay,
vote.
all right.
Yeah, that other old dude who's standing there, he got like 5 votes.
Right.
Yeah, sorry, dude.
He voted for himself and
That's
then
right.
2 of his buddies.
And then we go to Arya, killer of pigeons. She's a sick little
Right.
child. Just takes that pigeon's head off like a yeah. Drops him and then gets jumped by a bunch of thugs. And she straight up doesn't even break stride. She's like, dead men don't like pigeons or don't need food or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you better get to walking. And then
You get to stepping, man. Oh, yeah.
scary Miyagi shows up behind her, and the
Yeah.
3 dudes run
You
away.
mean Zartan?
Zartan.
Zartan. I was thinking when he texted Tom Cruise from
Yeah, from Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible. He shows up, and it's what's his face?
Jockin.
Jockin. Yes.
I couldn't remember his name right.
He even says it there. He's like, my name is not Jockin either. I am no one. And that's
Well,
what I'm going to
wasn't there a part?
Jockin Hagar.
Yeah, well, I couldn't remember his name at first. So I wrote down Jack Zartan. Thanks to Obi.
Chad Baratheon.
Chad
Let's use votes. Chad Baratheon.
Well, and it's funny because so we all watched the episode together, but we don't really talk because we're really focused on the show.
Right.
But he pulls his face off, and Opie just goes, "Ooh, it's Zartan." Oh god, I thought that was funny. But so Jack Zartan. But wasn't there a part in when he was leaving at the end of season
Yes.
1 or 2, where he says something about losing his name or something like that, because that's the first thing I thought when she asked for him specifically, and he said there is no one here by that name. I was thinking, well, it's because he unnamed himself, or she did, or he lost his name or something about that. I don't quite
It's just
remember.
they're no one. They're supposed to be no one.
Right,
That's the whole point of it.
because they're like in a big assassins guild, right?
That's right. They're like the assassins.
Like they're like a creed of assassins.
They're like a bunch of snake eyes and Zartan living together.
You played Skyrim? That's real.
Assassin's Guild. Boom. There you go. So we get through that. We go back to Marine. Yep. Oh, by the way, Arya did get into the House of Gold and Purple.
Was it gold and white or black and blue?
No,
Black and
no. Shut up. 2 llamas got loose in the streets. Let's do a bunch of memes on that, too. So, anyways, go back there. Slave guy kills Harpy dude. Straight up jacks him at the jackhole. And
Yeah, so remind me. Okay, so the slave guy, remind me about him.
she put him on her little council to represent the freemen.
Which were the slaves.
Right.
Yeah.
And she has the other guy that had asked for forgiveness. The other dude that was part of the Masters or whatever. He's part of it. Her council's where.
Right.
But anyways, so she's like, no, old guy, Winterfell dude, whatever his name is, King's Landing guy. What's his name?
I can't remember.
Oh my gosh, we're the
But
worst
yeah,
at this.
yeah,
Jeez.
we're bad with
Anyways,
names.
He's her. She's the king's sword, so he has to protect her at all times. And he also gives her counsel, tells her, listen, you have to use law. This has to be justice.
Oh,
he has to have a trial.
Barristan.
Yes, okay. Yeah.
Barristan.
She he's like, you have to give him a trial. You can't just kill him. Blah blah blah. You have to show some kind of law within the land of justice. And she's like, okay, we'll give him a trial. Well, slave dude. Sorry, we don't know his name either. He takes it upon himself to go ahead and kill Harpy Man. And once Harpy Man's dead, slave dude goes in front of
Harpy Man and slave
dragons,
dude.
and chick with dragons tells slave man, don't kill Harpy dude. You got laws, right? This is straight up.
This sounds like the worst show ever.
So she sentences dragon chick sentences slave man to death because he killed Harpy dude. Straight up in the room. So
Seriously.
old man Winterfell is hanging out with her, and they take him out. And
It sounds like an awful show. I would never, if this is really how it went, I would never watch it ever.
these are their superhero names.
Right.
Anyway, so Daenerys, they bring him out. They behead him. Everybody hisses.
Yeah, which is okay. All right. Okay. So let's talk about. So okay.
So they start yelling mercy, give him mercy, give him mercy,
Yeah.
give him mercy, but she has to show justice. So she goes ahead and has his head removed. He's dead. So then she starts getting hissed.
I thought she was going to, and I thought she was going to have a I thought she was going to have a change of conscience or something and have it and save him or spare him or maybe give him a trial. But I guess that's not necessary because
Well, they
he
know
basically,
committed-
he straight up
yeah.
admitted to it. Yeah.
So there is no trial and it's punishable by death.
I'm
So
so
well, she had to do it.
I don't know about you guys. I'm so ready for that storyline to pick up and let's go with it.
But so she kills him, all right? And then towards
Okay.
the end, Drogon shows back up. Of course, I can name the dragon. Giant wing creature comes in to Dragon Lady.
It's called a dragon.
Dragon.
Oh, my bad. Winged fire breather flies in. And he's all like, what up, Mom? And she tries to pet him, then he flies away. But what I noticed
I was
is...
I was full blown waiting for him to just start blowing fire all over the
Oh, I
town.
didn't
I was
know. I
like,
thought you were
oh,
gonna-
I thought-
because she finally makes the decision and starts being a ruler, the dragon came back to her. Remember last week I told you, I said, I think the reason the dragons don't like her right now is because she is in turmoil because she can't make a decision. When she
Oh.
finally does, he shows back up.
Are you
So,
reading into that really?
Theory, one for Dan. I win automatically.
Okay, that's a
I think I
theory. I'm
won
glad
the-
you marked that as a theory because
Oh, yeah,
I
this is
think
totally
it's
me.
random.
Okay,
don't think
well,
that means-
I don't know. Well, I thought it was random, but I don't know, Dan. You might have a point. But how would the dragon know? How does he? You know what I mean?
Because he is connected to her in some way.
He senses
His
that
eggs
she's.
were totally extinct. They weren't even able to be birthed, and then she goes in the fire and she's able to bring these dragon back because she's a Targaryen. She is a dragon, and so these dragons have a connection to her in some way. And when she's not mentally right or doing the right thing, they don't go mentally right and do the right thing. So
Oh.
when she finally makes a decision and starts doing things by the law and making justice, all of a sudden her big black dragon shows back up and is like, "Hey, Mom, what's up?"
I thought he was red. Is he black?
He's black.
So I really did think that when she was reaching up to pet him, he was actually gonna blast her with fire.
And that whole storyline's done.
No.
See ya.
No, well, I thought that too. I was like, oh man, what if he? Wouldn't that be a twist? Because the whole time I've been thinking Daenerys is going to be the ruler of everything at the end. But I thought he was actually going to blast her with fire and not kill her. But I mean, obviously she can walk in the flame when she did that at the end of season 1. I thought it maybe like burn her clothes off. That'd be okay. But I mean, I honestly thought that he was going to do something, but he just flew off. He's like, eh. I just wanted to say, hey, I'm
I'm
leaving.
just going checking in.
Yeah. Just letting you know I'm still out there. I'm okay. I'm doing fine.
So there it is.
so-
It flies off and roll credits.
Hold on. I have a question though.
Okay.
So I wrote this down. Who's fighting whom in Marine? So were there 2 factions?
Yeah, the slave owners and the slaves.
Right, but they're on equal ground now, right?
Well, supposedly, but the slave owners.
Everybody
or the-
should be, yes. Everybody
Right.
should be
Yeah.
unequal. But the slaves think that they can do whatever they want. They can kill the slave owners all they want. That's why Kill the Masters was written next to the Sons of the Harpy.
Yeah.
Right.
But the slave owners are like, hey, we're still your slave owners, blah, blah, blah. She's telling everybody, no, you're all just free, but there's laws you have to live by.
Right.
That's pretty much it.
Okay, because I was getting, you're right now, but I was getting a little confused about that because it seems like they were all hissing her, but they were in different dress, and they just there was a distinct visual difference,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it's just
I
the masters.
I don't think any of the people that gotta get this Harvey smoked weed before coming on. Hey, thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here, Gino.
Crap, I lost my train of thought. I didn't see any of the masters hissing anybody. I saw a lot of the slave people do the
Right.
hissing.
Well, and maybe it was just them.
I think the slave people were just in shock, like, what? She just took our side? And then all of a sudden, they're mad. All the slave people are mad. They started throwing rocks at all of the masters.
The masters.
Right.
Okay, I need to rewatch that bit then because I thought that somebody just randomly threw a rock and on purpose hit somebody else to start a riot in the hopes of killing her. But
The reason I noticed it is because the guards were separating them like two rival fan groups at a soccer match. They were like,
No.
"You got to keep one."
No,
of
it
them.
wasn't
It's
anything
more
like that.
A boy band, not a soccer match. Nobody plays soccer.
it wasn't anything like that because there were actually people at
Yeah,
the
there were-
at that thing.
Yeah.
There were people
Nobody
actually
plays
watching.
soccer. Yeah.
You guys.
So anyways, that is it. Unless anybody's got any final thoughts or expectations for the next episode.
No, I'm ready to see Greyjoy.
There you go.
What
I
in
think-
the world? Who wants to see? Okay. Whatever.
Well, what I mean is, I'm ready to see Greyjoy and Bolton and that group. That's that storyline.
Yep.
Because
Greyjoys,
he's crazy. What's his
He
name?
is.
Bolton. The Lord of
Bruce
the
Bolton, is it Rimley or Ramsey? Ramsey.
Ramsey.
Right?
Yeah.
Ramsey.
Yeah, they threw rocks at her too. Thanks, Gino.
Thanks, Gino.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they do. But it's the masters and her in her direction. And then when she's walking and they're petting her. But you notice the first few people that got hit were the masters that got hit in the face with rocks.
Yeah, that's true.
Or goes into the slaves. Anyway, so they're just really pissed at her right now, even though she's supposed to be their mother. They've put her on such a high pedestal, and then here she goes killing one of her own. So
And
that's
so-
kinda what I flipped out.
Just throwing this out there, has nothing to do with anything. But last weekend I went and saw Furious 7, which I actually didn't like that much. But
Imagine that.
there's Daenerys' right hand lady, the one who translates for her all the time. She's totally in that through like half the movie.
Missandei, what is her name? Starts with an M. Not gonna work here anymore.
Samsonite.
It's Samsonite.
But yeah,
I thought it was a
overall-
good episode.
yeah. Overall synopsis: it was just another setup episode. It kind of caught us up on the other storylines, and they're going to get it set up for the next few episodes. And I'm just waiting for that big,
Yep.
oh shoot moment.
I got a question. Did that dude go swimming for that coin she threw in the water? I mean,
Well,
I
that's
kind of missed that spot. I got a freaking call from work.
No.
Yeah.
Nobody went in the water. after,
no.
but
She
he
threw the
just shows up
coin
with-
and it just showed up again. However he got it, who knows? Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. Seems like it would have
I
like
think he had more. It's the same dude that gave her the
Gino-
first
Well,
one.
that's
He
true.
probably had another one.
that's true.
Gina replies, "That would have been funny if they peed on her." So
I don't
well,
know.
maybe. I don't know what you-
It's a bit hard to do.
Well, Joffrey got shit thrown in his face, so I mean,
That is true.
you
Joffrey
know.
did get hit with a pile of.
yeah, but he deserves that kind of thing.
So another setup episode, still moving all the pieces into place. Next week we're gonna get more of that. We're gonna get. I think is Greyjoy and Ramsey, are they the only storyline that we haven't seen yet?
And the sand snakes.
in the sense.
Yeah.
Well, that's new.
Dorne.
But we've got everything caught up from last season.
I think so.
Yeah.
Have we touched base with about everything that we've seen from last season?
Which Stark do you think will die first? I'm gonna go Robert. Oh, I'm sorry. Ned.
Ned.
I'm gonna go with Ned Stark.
Ned
He's
Stark's gonna die
first.
first. Absolutely.
I actually don't think you're gonna lose any more Starks.
There's none left, are there? Except for John. Well, no. There's John and Bran. Oh, there's a bunch of them. Arya,
John's not a
Sansa.
Stark.
Yeah.
He's a Snow right now.
Where is
Well-
Bran?
He's not considered.
Bran's.
We haven't seen Bran. Yeah, we're.
Bran? Oh, that's
freaking-
right. He's hiding in the tree.
That's right.
With
He's
a,
in the
with a-
tree.
with a wizard. I couldn't even get that out.
With a wizard.
With a wizard.
With a wither.
Old Bran hanging out with a wizard. He's gonna be casting fireballs. Magic missile.
Yeah, he's going to come out like halfway through the season. We're not going to have seen anything from him, and then he's just going to like start like just have all these magical
He grew up
powers.
too fast. He'll be Super Saiyan brand when he comes out, probably.
Still can't walk though.
Yeah.
He'll be able to fly.
That's true.
He won't need to be able to walk. And if not, he'll just get the Nimbus Cloud.
I just have a very bad picture in my head that cracks me up, but it's not good for. It's not politically correct. Anyways, so
Yeah, next week I do want to mention we're gonna see Arya. Anything with Arya and Jaqen and that whole Assassin's Guild, that can't be anything but good.
true.
I'm excited to see where crap.
That doesn't sound exciting.
Brienne and Tarth do. Brienne and Tarth are some of my favorite ones. I kind of like Brienne. She's
Do you? I don't. She gets to me.
Wait,
Yeah. Gino says that Bran's gonna get Professor X training.
Brand's all about. And Rickon, nobody knows what's happened to Rickon. He ran off with the wildling lady. He's just out somewhere, just gone away from Winterfell.
Gino wants Super Saiyan God.
But anyways, that is our episode. We thank you for watching, especially you, Gino. Thanks for chatting with us, buddy.
Catch us next week.
Yes, we will be back on next week after next week's episode, and we'll be back on the same channel, same time. So please come and check us out. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.